Definition of model railroading. A guy or a woman that plays with a train layout in their home, doing scenery, running trains, building a model railroad, having fun is the definition of model railroading. Welcome to H.O. Powertrain. So today is going to be a spicy video. If you do not want to hear for the spiciness, click off now because it's going to get spicy. It's going to be talking about where the hobby is going to. What I'm seeing over here. As doing this for 3.5 years on respect of that, right? I'm going to tell you the truth. I see it staying in the big groups. I don't see it getting out of any kind of rivet counting, gatekeeping deal right now. I don't see that. The big guys are pushing the higher end stuff, and let's face it, there are more people that don't have a lot of money versus people that do have a lot of money. But the magazines are going to keep pushing these guys, keep pushing these groups, and they're going to keep pushing how you should do model railroading, right? You need the expensive stuff, you need the Arduino stuff, you need all the fancy electronics, you need everything that they say is going to be model railroading. But in the beginning, I just told you what model railroading is about. So there's still some hope, guys. So still some hope for us small people and us building our layouts and doing what the hell we want to do. So let's break down all the rivet counting moments that the people came in on my channel and told me what I should do, how this wasn't going to work, how things should be, and how I'm doing it wrong, right? So come on in and we're going to get this going. So for the first one, you cannot have real water in your layout. Right here. Cannot have a fish pond on your layout. Electricity does not mix with water, right? Well, I can understand if that train would flop off and fall into it. But has that happened yet? No, not yet. Still waiting on it, rivet counters. So, and on the other thing, because I got to mention this, is if water gets from here onto here, if it'll give any trouble. Again, still waiting on that, rivet counters. So that was the biggest one I had. Now let's talk about the track and what they suggested and what wouldn't and would work. So let's go with it. Alright, we're coming into this Atlas switch. That's the most popular one that rivet counter and still rivet counting on. Atlas turnouts, right? You cannot have Atlas turnouts because they break. You need to get the higher end stuff. Well, let's go explore that, shall we? Oh, and by the way, this is not a power frog neither. This is a Insel frog here. So number 6 still works beautiful here. I'm still waiting on the problem on that switch, right? And the rest of my mini switches. I gotta count how many I have, okay? So I'm not going to go into detail because I already have a video explaining switches, but that was another moment, was cheap Atlas switches giving trouble. Again, I'm still waiting on the trouble. I can only imagine somebody with limited amount of money putting in an Atlas switch and they're showing their stuff on YouTube and a rivet counter comes in there and just tears that apart. Gets that person thinking, man, will I have trouble in the future? What's going to go on? What's happening? These switches are 3.5 years old, and I still seem not to have any trouble. So, what is that really? Are they just saying things that doesn't have weight, or are they taking our switches and banging them against the damn table and breaking them to crap, and they wonder why their stuff is broken? I don't know. I don't get it. Another rivet counter moment was, you have to have an insulated room. You have to have insulation, it protecting from the humidity and everything else. Well, take a look around. This room is uninsulated and it is cold right now. We just had a big rain, 5-inch rain, and you know what? I fired that locomotive up and it's running perfect. So, is this breaking rules? Is this bending rules and showing things how it doesn't have to be? I think so, because I mean, what else can it be? You know, it's the truth. But there you go, another rivet counting moment, and as you can see, these trains are running beautiful. It just makes me laugh, man. It's just like, man, what's going on here? Could be some hate, but it is what it is, right? Another one was, if you don't gap your rails, you're going to have all kind of lift up expansion on your layout. Is that one just following the crowd that you heard? Or is it something you experienced over and over and over again? Another one was radiuses. That's a 22 hybrid. I call it a 22 into a 24-inch radius. Everybody was ragging on 22-inch radius. And I'm picking up the train box and I'm reading it. These locomotives can run on 22-inch radiuses minimum. I'm like, well, I have a 22-inch radius, but why should I go 24 on up or 26 on up? After the radius is glued in, they like to say that. So it's like, do I go back and rip it out? No. It can run on 22-inch radius, so run it, David. I'm glad I stuck to my intuition on that, because if that was the case, Devil Mountain would be ripped out and a lot of other radiuses would have been ripped out, going on the notion of rivet counting. Therefore, the rivet counting problems that I've seen on my channel can hurt somebody getting into the hobby, showing their stuff, especially if they don't know. And these rivet counters lean their ways on these people, and these people are just trying to keep it simple, run a DC locomotive, and they start hearing all this stuff, and that can scare them into not doing model railroading. That's what I'm seeing, man. So in respect to that, it feels like the hobby is going to shit on that end. But on the end of just keeping your railroad simple, having fun, doing what the hell you want to do, that's what this channel represents, and that's what we're trying to do to keep pushing that message, right? Do it the way you want. Let them have what the hell they believe. They're going to have it locked into what they think it should be. But model railroading was never founded on that and will never be that. Model railroading was founded by putting a train under a Christmas tree with your kids and watching that thing go around your tree and having just a blast looking at it in the holidays. That's how it was. That's what started it. And I understand things have to evolve, but not get locked into such a gatekeeping, rivet counting perspective. At the end of the day, it's how you have fun with your layout, right? So with that said, guys, please like and subscribe if you thought this was helpful. Keep doing your stuff, beginners, and like always, I'll catch you on the next one.